Hi, good afternoon. 23rd June, two events happen. One is a current event and the another one is in the past. The current event is our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He's in US and since yesterday. This is a different trip, and I was just reading some of the glance of it yesterday. India has started investing in US, right? Uh, about $2 billion. That's what it comes out, and a lot of CEOs and the tech companies wants to be a part of India growth story. We are flourishing. God bless India and our PM Modi. The second event happened way back in 1868. A gentleman called Christopher, who signed the grant the pattern for the typewriters. And this today, the 23rd June, is celebrated as a typewriter day. But look at how, even that time it was automated because it's sort of handwritten and then it moved to the typewriting. Fast forward 150 years, and we are talking about the AIs, right? So overall transmissions of it. The point is the way things got evolved, and so as Click is evolved. Although the discussion of point today is real-time data integration and automated machine learning, uh, and it's empowering the business to use the no-code solutions. But I wanted to talk about how the Click is evolved in this journey. So this is a history. Till 2014, we've been a single product company. Uh, Although we are ahead in the curve, but it's all about the analytics. And over this many years, we've been acquiring the firms, which is organic and non-organic growth pattern. Uh, from then to now, these are the various acquisitions we have done. I wanted to talk about the three one, which are pretty important. If you look at in 2018, we acquired a company called Podium, which is for the data cataloging solutions. Uh, 2019, again, we acquired a company called Attunity, which is nothing but the CDC, what we call the change data capture replication. Uh, Data, basically the on the real-time data transfer from the source to the target system. It's a unique in a way to transfer the data in the real time. And in 2021, if you look at the bottom of it, we acquired a Big Squid. This is for the auto ML, a solution, automated machine learning solutions around it. In 22, Click become a cloud first organization. It's not that we not been into the cloud, but this is a whole the journey with the cloud first. So now from there, we come out with a solution in the SaaS offering, which is more on the analytics and the integration side of it, end-to-end data integration offering in 22. Recent acquisition, pretty exciting, in 23, where we acquired a organization called Talent to basically to bridge the gap for the data quality, data governance, and that takes the whole customer data journey completion. We uh, we are in India since 2005 as a presence, and we have about 2,000 odd customers since then. You name it, and I think we are there. And if you look at the some of the brief, which is here, about 40,000 customers globally we have, and 50 offices. But again, two important pointers here. Uh, we have the development centers, state-of-art development centers around the globe, US, Europe, and in India, which make me proud about it. Uh, and the second point is, we kept on investing on the technology, the latest ones, and modernization, the tool, which helped the customer. We invested about till now about $1 billion plus, and that results us. And if you look at the extreme right side of it, we've been a leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant all this while, and be the data integration, data analytics, auto ML part of it, and the data quality. So This is pretty exciting. The recent acquisition also with Talent, where we have an end-to-end journey from data, the ETL to the data replication to ETL, and then to the the analytics, which has a modernization or ML capabilities around it. So exciting time. Looking forward, and I'm just passing the ball to my colleague Rajiv to take over.
Thanks, Pash. And very good afternoon to everyone here. So I'm here to talk about our product portfolio. And if you look at it, it's pretty wide, it's pretty comprehensive. But I'll not be covering all of them, of course, due to paucity of time. So what I'll focus on is on two aspects. On the data integration side, you see that replication and CDC streaming is something that I'll talk about in terms of how our offering is comprehensive and quite significantly different from the market. And the second thing that I'll touch upon is the Click Auto ML. While we cover an enterprise needs in their entire end-to-end data journey, but let's focus on one or two things so that I can probably make sense in the time that we've been given. So coming to Click Cloud data integration, now let's say when enterprises embark on a data or a digital transformation journey, they usually think of a cloud data warehouse. That's been in the vogue these days. So the first thing that comes to mind is a cloud data warehouse. But when you start doing that, then you come across a term called modern data stack, right? And when you Google modern data stack, what you usually get as a result is a plethora of things that you need to take care of. It's not just the cloud data warehouse. If you ask ChatGPT what is a modern data stack, it gives you, in summary, that there is a combination of things that needs to be taken care of. What you essentially end up with is not just the cloud data warehouse or the lake, but a surrounding set of things that you need to be aware of as well. It starts from data ingestion from your core systems. Once you have data into your lake or warehouse, you also need to be aware of how you would want to do the data transformation. Then orchestrating all that pipeline that you've built, you need to be aware of how to do that. Once data is analytics ready, you need to visualize it. You need, even before visualization, you need a catalog in terms of knowing which data is there and what value it has. And finally, once you've analyzed it, you would want to push it back to your system of records to take some actions on it. And that's what we're calling reverse ETL. So what you get in the market is around point solutions around this. And what we've seen is that there's a lot of myths around the modern data stack. And some of them are, it's either free or very cheap. It's easy to manage. In isolation, yes, but when you put it all together, then it becomes a different ballgame. It's more agile, it's quick to deploy, it solves your time to market. Now, all of this in isolation, they sound good, but if you have to stitch them all together, that's when it starts falling apart. So if I have to look at an end-to-end journey for an enterprise, it essentially starts, how can I go from my data to insights and then take action out of it, right? And in this journey, if you then drill down a step further, it starts from data integration, then managing the data, governance around it, doing some data science on it, and then creating your dashboards through business intelligence platform, and then finally drilling down on what actions you can take on it. And believe it or not, then you have these personas that take care of each of those drill down steps that are there in this entire journey. And now you club that with point solutions around each of these, right? What you end up with is essentially issues, not solutions. You end up with data silos, you end up with different tools, time to market, fragile pipelines, and all of this results in a situation where you're only handling issues within the organization. And believe it or not, I was in a conversation yesterday with one of the leading CPG enterprises in the country, and what they highlighted to me was exactly this problem, that we've had or we are dealing with issues only in our ingestion pipeline today, and we are not able to come out of it to take more meaningful initiatives. So that's been a problem of point solutions. What Click Cloud Data Integration brings to the market is one solution to handle all of the surroundings of a, let's say, cloud data warehouse or a data lake. So we have to begin with, real-time data movement into the cloud. And this was as a result of the acquisition that we did, which Pash mentioned around Atinity. It was an on-prem solution when we acquired it. Now we've taken that market-leading technology and combined it into our SaaS offering, where we are able to move that data in real time from any of your core transactional systems to a cloud data warehouse without impacting the performance of the source system. So we're not firing queries, but we are doing it through transactional logs that helps, that does not impact the performance of the source system. Second, once you land data, you need to do transformations on it. We don't take data out of the landed area because now we believe that the cloud data warehouses are pretty powerful, capable enough to handle large-scale transformations. So we push down SQL to the underlying data warehouse layer to do any kind of transformations that are required. But all of that is orchestrated within our Qlik Cloud Data Integration Platform. Once you have data and it has moved through various layers, you would be interested in understanding what is the lineage of the data. You would be understanding what all data have I accumulated over time. So we have, again, an integrated data and lineage catalog that gives you a good visibility, a very visual visibility of the data that's there within your ecosystem and the ways that it is getting used in. And you can build all this one-on-one, but then you need to orchestrate it also in a sense that once you've landed data, you need to transform it through layer 1, 2, 3, and then finally it becomes analytics ready, right? So creating all of that in a very, very automated way is something that we provide our customers with. Finally, putting all this together and making it analytics ready is what we provide through a single Qlik Cloud Data Integration Platform. So why do you think any enterprise should try and at least talk to us about their data integration needs? It's agentless CDC, right? Now, the company that we acquired was already a market leader in doing non-intrusive data movement from source to target. We are continuing with that legacy and making it more modern. What we also bring, with it is a high-performance data gateway. So when enterprises have their data on-prem and they're moving into a cloud data warehouse, which is still within their VPC, we ensure that the data does not move to our cloud in lieu of moving it to the cloud data warehouse. We install a high-performance gateway within your firewalls, and all of the data is there within your firewall so that there is no question of security risk around the data. It is a single solution for the modern data stack. So all of that myths around it being easy and stitching them all together is not a question at all in the first place. Another point is that if you go with the hyperscalers, they try and lock you onto their platforms in terms of what tools you would use to ingest to do the transformation and so on and so forth. We are cloud agnostic, of course. If your target system is not just AWS, but let's say even Azure is there within your ecosystem, we are able to provide that single interface for you to be able to work through multiple cloud providers. And the key underlying part to all of this is that it's a no-code or a low-code solution, right? Today, any platform that you bring up, the ingestion might be UI-driven, but then when you do the transformation, you suddenly end up with a code or a code-driven approach. Or even if that ETL is not code, the ingestion is code-driven. So what we have done is we've standardized it and we've made it no-code or a low-code system so that you're less people-dependent. Now, one of the challenges we all know is that attrition is still high in the market, and second is getting skilled people. Now, because we made the platform low-code, the learning curve is very, very less in terms of carrying out this entire end-to-end around the data integration, ingesting, transforming, making it analytics ready, and building a catalog around it. So that is about Qlik Cloud Data Integration. The next that I wanted to speak around was Qlik AutoML. So what is Qlik AutoML, right? Now, there's a lot of text here. I can read one or two lines, but when you end up with such a slide which tries to explain a technology, you essentially end up with the movie scene of Three Idiots, where the teacher is asking Amir Khan, "कि कहना क्या चाहते हो?" Right? After reading this slide, that's what I try to, what are you trying to say? So let me explain that through an example. And that example will hopefully explain things, right? So let's say you're in a situation where you have a business question around your sales pipeline. Which sales opportunities did I win last quarter? What was our close date? So that's not, machine learning. That's business analytics, right? But then if you incorporate machine learning into it, which opportunities am I likely to win this quarter? So that becomes a little bit more future looking, and you can build some predictive algorithms around it by which will learn from your past performance of all the sales reps in the organization and the external factors that influence an opportunity, and you're probably able to predict with some amount of accuracy that these are the opportunities that I'll probably win in this quarter. But the third part is around, you not only predict, but you also are able to explain why you're able to win or lose an opportunity. So that explainability in terms of how can we take action to drive more revenue? What are those factors that are affecting the opportunities that I will win or lose? Right? If you're able to explain that, then it means that the sales rep can then be driven to take corrective action on whichever opportunities they are getting pointed out on. Now, not everything, of course, is going to get pointed out by the machine. There is a little bit of human experience that also gets factored in. So we try to, we call this the augmented intelligence, where the human and machine partner together to bring meaningful actions. So what we're trying to do, I mean, this is not new. Machine learning is not new, and even the explainability part of it is not new. But what are we trying to do with ClickAutoML in this context? What we're trying to do is we're trying to automate a lot of these things, right? So when you get a data set, so think of your sales operation team. Are they able to tell you, that these are the opportunities that we will win in the next quarter? No, because they don't have the skill set to run a machine learning algorithm. So what we have built is ClickAutoML, where you provide it with a data set, you choose a target column in it in terms of I want to predict whether I will win or lose, right? And then it figures out which is the best algorithm. Before figuring out a best algorithm, it will automatically figure out which are the driving factors for that target variable chosen. And then run 4 or 5 relevant algorithms and give a score against each of those algorithms. Remember, all of this is happening at the click of a button, not by writing code, right? Once it tells you that this is the best scored, like it will assign scores to each of the algorithm that it has run, and you have the option to pick the one with the highest score or any of the others. Then it tells you that if there were 12, 13 columns of data that were there in your data set that you provided, it will tell you which are those attributes which affect the outcome the most, right? So that is something that you train it first with, by getting suggested on an algorithm, and you are then able to figure out which are the most important factors for the outcome that you are trying to determine. But this is so far still historical data. After which, you then are able to provide it with new data on which you would want to predict that outcome, right? And then it gives you, out of the 10, let's say, opportunities that you've provided, 5 opportunities are probably the win percentage of that opportunity is less than 50, more than 50, and all of that. So it helps a sales operation team, which is fairly non-technical, does not have the skill of a data scientist within the team, be able to do these kind of slightly advanced predictive use cases. Now, through this ClickAutoML, we are in no way competing to the advanced use cases of machine learning or what the data scientists do. But we are trying to bridge the gap that the operational business teams would want to do, but are short of talent on doing that. And the fact that it is all automated that's why it's called AutoML. It makes it very, very relevant, simpler for any of the business functional teams who are classified, let's say, as business analysts, data analysts, to be able to enhance their skills and be able to run some predictive use cases for the use cases that they are responsible for. So we do automated model creation. It helps understand key drivers. It auto-generates those models. And as an outcome, you get your predictive analytics, right? It makes predictions on forward-looking data. What it also helps you do as a result is you can do some what-if scenarios, right? So think of it, let's say another use case is where you're trying to predict the churn of a customer or not, right? And whether that customer will churn or not is something that I get as an output, let's say from the predictive model. And I also know the factors that contribute to the churn of that customer. Now I can play around with, let's say, if one of the factors was identified as that, let's say if it's a telecom customer and the plan on which that customer was one of the biggest factors of this algorithm predicting that that customer will churn. What if I were to change the plan to another plan? Then what is the probability of that customer churning? So then you get to do all that what if scenarios, understand where your problem is in terms of the factors that are there in the data set and take corrective action on it. So it becomes a very, very powerful way of not only giving historical view of the business, but also being able to take actionable insight depending on what could happen in the future in a very probabilistic way. So we call it the machine learning for the other 90%, right? 10% of course is the data scientists. They do their work day in, day out, and they are highly skilled in terms of the problems, highly oriented towards the problem statement that has been identified for them. But these are very common scenarios that we see could be addressed through AutoML in a very, very automated way without any requirement around hiring the expensive data scientists. And if any of you are interested on this, then we do have a booth outside where we could give you a live demo of this platform as well, where we can showcase how it would work for a very, very data literate business analyst user not skilled in data science. So I'll end this session with this slide where we talk about our comprehensive end-to-end capabilities around data. We start, of course, with data integration in real time, any data transformation. Once it's there, you catalog it, you provide a way to even, now there's this new situation of data stewards being able to govern the data that's made available for consumption. And on the consumption side, it's the analytics. On the analytics, visualization and dashboarding has been our bread and butter. But we've evolved from there to not just do that, but also to be able to do automated machine learning, being able to allow the user to alert themselves and take action on it. And on the foundational service side, you'd see application automation, which is now from the dashboard, how do you write it back to your transactional systems, maybe raise a ticket in ServiceNow, maybe raise or send out a Teams notification, and create that entire end-to-end data journey for an enterprise without, and not just leave the users at the dashboard without knowing what to do next. So that's a really 30,000 feet overview about who we are, how we've evolved, and what is it that we do. Happy to take any questions if there are. All right. So thank you for your time.